Welcome back, everybody, to another wonderful episode of No Party Preference. My name's Josh, and I'm here today with good buddy Adam.
Yes, greetings.
Fellow class member Adam. Fellow poor class member.
Well, we're all collectively poor.
We are, yes, correct. Compared to, yes. But anyways, today we're going to be talking more, obviously, about this. The more information that's come out about this Luigi Mangione thing. Also, we're going to be really generally talking about the sentiment that people now are starting to feel regarding major corporations. And yeah, we'll get into it. But at the end of it, if you want, you can go follow us on social media, Game Rage Magazine, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube. Also, Twitter/X, Game Rage Mag. You can follow Adam at All Gas No Trash Official on Instagram, and you can go check out his wonderful music podcast of the same name, All Gas No Trash. Anyways, so to start off, just before we get into the actual, we're gonna talk about a little video, which if you want to go watch it now and pause, it's a TED Talk that was from 2010 by a guy named Nick Hanauer, and the title of it is "Beware, Fellow Plutocrats, the Pitchforks Are Coming." We're gonna talk about that 20-minute video, but if you want to go watch it real quick, just so you know what the fuck we're talking about, go ahead. But before we get there, yes, the shooter, the CEO suspect shooter, quote unquote, has been named. He was fucking sold out by a goddamn McDonald's worker.
Yeah, and then Burger King responded with, "We wouldn't rat on you."
Yeah, like, we ain't no snitches. And I believe Burger King posted up a thing that said, "A cab includes McDonald's now." And also, on the other snitchery route, okay, that backpack that they found the Monopoly money in,
okay,
made by a company called Peak something. I don't know. It's like Peak Sportswear. And they make like shit for photographers and whatnot, like backpacks and bags and stuff. Well, apparently, the guy who's the CEO of the company, of Peak, whatever, it's out in California here in San Francisco, he saw that bag, a picture of it, and he called the tip line and said, "Hey, I'm the CEO of this company, and we serialize our bags.
Oh, Jesus.
So why don't you give me the serial number and I'll tell you who bought it." Fucking what a snitch ass motherfucker. You had nothing to do with this. Nothing at all. But because a CEO buddy of yours got killed, a fellow CEO got killed, oh, you wanted to make sure that this man got brought to quote unquote justice.
No, I don't think that's it at all. I think it's protecting the brand. This thing has been associated with a murder, and this asshole's like, "Hey, hold up. This could damage our fucking profits."
Quite the opposite. So let me give you the example of why that's the opposite. When this got found out, people went to the Peak TikTok, Facebook, social media, and just started lighting them up. So much so now that now they had to turn off comments on every single thing they've ever done because people were letting them fucking have it. I think that now, if they would have come out and said, like, maybe the rich shouldn't get richer, buy a Peak bag. Like, that's what I would have done. They would have endeared a whole fucking population.
Yeah, well, what are you gonna do?
Like,
yeah,
idiot. That's a rich dude. That's a snitch. No dice. I'll get the fuck out of here. But anyways, I just thought that was funny that this dude snitched out on that, and now everybody was lighting them up, and now their brand is probably irreparably damaged.
Yeah, and I think my favorite part of it is the romanticization of said person, Luigi Mangione.
Yeah.
That people are coming out of the woodworks.
Oh man,
gays,
yep,
straights,
transgenders.
Everybody's coming out for this guy and saying, "Oh, he must be acquitted," or "This man's innocent," simply because he's fucking good looking. Everybody's coming out and saying this guy's a goddamn hero. And well, I could say on my own behalf, I think this guy's a goddamn hero.
Yeah, I think he is too. I think he is too. I agree. I think we here at Game Rage Magazine support this dude and what he did.
Yeah.
And I'll say this. Another thing that I was also going to talk about on here, but it's great you bring that up. The romanticization of it, right? The governor of Pennsylvania, Josh Shapiro, okay, he comes out and he makes this statement and says that I wrote down the quote of it just so I could like get it fucking correct. Where was it? Oh yeah. He says, in America, we do not kill people in cold blood to resolve policy differences or to express a viewpoint. Okay, that's what he said in a press conference, denouncing and saying all this shit. We got Fox News. We got all these news companies, everybody coming on here and saying all this shit about how like, oh, we can't be glorifying this and blah, 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 right? Yet, Josh Shapiro, I watched a video of him not 3 months ago in September taking old boy Zelensky to a goddamn factory in Scranton, Pennsylvania that makes artillery shells. And guess what he did? Josh Shapiro was signing fucking artillery shells. So you mean to tell me that, oh, it's okay when you do it, when it's your issue, it's cool to romanticize violence and to use violence to resolve a policy issue, which essentially is what's going on in the Ukraine. You're cool with that. But when we do it, this is deplorable. This is reprehensible. I read this quote, I forget who it's from, but it was when the wealthy commit violence against the poor, it's called unfortunate, or it's called acceptable. But when the poor commit violence against the rich, that's a problem. There it is. There it is. And in regards to this specific thing with this CEO, because all this shit's been coming out and all about how this guy was a good dude, this guy who's the CEO and blah, blah, blah. At the end of the day, yeah, sure, listen, he had a family, he had this, he had that, whatever. Oh, it's coming out that he came from like this low income family and he worked his way up all the way to being a CEO. Hey man, that's great and all, but if you forget where you came from and you just, now that you're a rich guy, oh, you got to do things that keep rich guys rich. So you got to fuck everybody below you.
Yeah, I mean, I can't remember the exact document that was written or that was found about, I think this dude's mother needing some type of surgery, if I'm not mistaken, right? Mm-hmm. And she got denied her treatment. So it's like, okay, in the same way that wasn't personal to them. Mm-hmm. Hey, it's nothing personal when your CEO gets murdered.
I mean, that's a true story.
Yeah, you want to make a point, so do we.
And here's the other thing that I also thought was crazy was, well, not crazy, but the arrogance of people in these high level positions, right? You get to make your choice, right? You get to make your decision and choose how your power affects others, right? Like they get to make that choice.
Yep.
But the choice that they don't get to make is you don't get to pick your consequences. You don't get to pick how people respond. You can choose how you want to affect our lives, but you don't get to choose those consequences of those actions. And
well, most cases they do get they do get to pick and choose what their crime or how they end up, what the consequences of their action are. At least I think so, because
right, most of the time,
when we're speaking about politicians, most people get a wrist slap or a hand slap on the wrist, and that's as much as they get. And I don't know.
Yeah, no, true. I mean, so we get all of this bullshit, and we get to this video that we watched, which I thought was very relevant, and it's very crazy how I just happened to just be scrolling through YouTube, and it was like buried in some shit, and I saw a clip, and I was like, oh, what's this? And so I was like, you know what? I saw a clip of it, and I'm like, oh, I want to see this whole fucking video. And granted, this guy's a fucking idiot. I mean, I'm not saying this dude's smart, and I mean, he kind of admits it in this video that he's an idiot.
That's what turned me off from the video right away, is that he immediately disqualifies himself because he states that his good fortune is sheerly by luck, by circumstance, that he was in a position to earn as much money as he has as a billionaire. And then you're coming to me. You're coming to us on this fucking TED Talk to lecture us on what we should be doing, or how a new government should be formed, or not a new government should be formed, or how it should be reformed, how billionaires should be abiding by this new capitalism.
Yeah.
You're full of shit.
He is full of shit. Listen, I agree. And he's full of shit in the sense that I personally think that the whole point of this TED Talk was for him to say, hey, fellow billionaires, they're going to come for us. So we should really do, like, listen, guys, we can make our money, right? And we can keep the gap there. But we kind of need to, like, make it not so obvious, because eventually they're going to figure this shit out, and then they're going to come kill us all. And then this is going to be French Revolution 2.0. And so he was talking about essentially this new form of capitalism, which basically is the same shit we're doing now. It's just the rich don't make the gap as massive. It's a little bit dialed back. And he used this fucking bullshit example of Henry Ford, right? Henry Ford creates this fucking the automobile, but he needs assholes to put it together, right? He makes this little assembly lines thing, but he got to have dudes doing it because they don't have fucking technology like we do now. Can't have robots when robots haven't been invented.
Yeah.
So he's got to have people do it. So he's like, okay, I'm going to be making this thing that's revolutionizing transportation. It's going to change everything. Everyone's going to own a car, right? That's the whole fucking goal. And so, okay, what does he do? He pays everybody twice the fucking prevailing wage. It was like $2.50 a week or whatever, and he's paying everybody $5 a week.
Yeah.
Twice the fucking prevailing wage for the time. And he pays them that, not because he's like, oh, I'm a good dude, I'm going to be making all this money, but it's so that his employees can afford to buy the cars that they're making. In turn, giving him back the fucking extra money that he's fucking paying them. So, oh, and more. Not just that, and more. So if you look at it, it's like what they did to people in the railroads in the 1800s. Oh, hey, man, you can come work at the railroad. Oh, yeah, the average whatever pay is like, let's say it's like 5 cents an hour, right? Well, the railroad's like, oh, we'll pay you 50 cents an hour, but we're going to pay you in railroad money. And railroad money, you can only spend at railroad stores, and you can only spend on railroad things. So you got paid in railroad money, and all they did was just basically slavery with extra steps, all right? That's basically all it was. And that's kind of like that was like the modern-ish back then in the early 1900s when Henry Ford did this. That was like the modern continuation of that same thing. The railroad money shit got outlawed. They told everybody you can't do that anymore. Like, that's why Walmart can't pay you in Walmart bucks, and then only you can spend it at Walmart's, right? That's the only reason they don't do that, is because it's technically illegal to do that. Like, there was a specific law that they made so that
Mormons do that.
Mormons do that?
Yeah, they have like a whole ecosystem.
Yeah, they're religiously exempt or whatever from like fucking, it's because they're a religious organization.
Yeah, but they still do it.
Yeah, because they're assholes. They're greedy assholes. And so that's where we get this whole picture of what our system currently is and how it's gotten out of hand. And what's very so interesting to me about this whole situation is that they always say this shit about, oh, violence is not the answer. You have to work within the system. You need to work within the system to air your grievances. Well, the problem is you also control the system. So if you control the system by which we air our grievances so that our grievances never actually get resolved, then what do you expect us to do? It's crazy how basically one dude with a gun essentially shook the top 1% of society faster and in a more effective way than essentially decades of peaceful protesting or peaceful means of airing our grievances, right?
Yeah, especially with civil disobedience being something like, oh, you can only do it at this place at this time for a designated amount of time.
Right.
But that's because we say so.
Right, yes.
But civil disobedience is just complete disobedience of the status quo.
Exactly. And it's funny how, like, you look at it this way. There's a guy, like the guy who's like a CEO or whatever, and Fox News and everybody, they're all like, oh, fuck you, man. You guys can't do this. That's not right. And they're like, what do you mean? We just fucking used we used the tools we have available and on our rights. And they're like, what do you mean? Okay, we used the first one, which was our speech, and that didn't work. So now guess what? We moved on to number 2, the guns. And that's what we're gonna keep doing, I guess, until we get our fucking issues resolved.
Yeah.
And really, how can you blame us? How can you blame people for feeling this way? And again, all the people that love this is the one singular issue, I think, since 9/11 that has brought America together. Because you got people on the left and the right, the veil is starting to become fucking pulled down. And people on the left and the right are realizing, shit, man, it hasn't been left versus right, it's top versus bottom. That's where the real thing is, that's the real fight that's going on.
Yeah.
And they've separated the bottom for so long by making us in all these different groups and having all these different things, and it's worked swimmingly. But now the turning point is here. What's America gonna do? I mean, I've been seeing all these TikToks about, oh, look, now Congress is doing something. They're putting these things in place. Oh, okay, they're putting in useless legislation that's likely gonna not do anything because the insurance companies are one of the biggest lobbies in the United States, outside of maybe the military industrial complex, probably like the largest lobby in the United States. Healthcare is like either right there or slightly just below, with the amount of money that they pay and incentives that they pay to Congress people to keep shit fucked so that they can keep making money. And I don't think that insurance companies should be allowed to be for profit, because no other country in the world does the healthcare industry exist like it does here, because everywhere else they just take care of your problem. Yeah, sure, maybe it takes a little longer or what have you, but at the end of the day, you still get taken care of, as opposed to, hey, sorry, there was a lady online that was posting this stuff, and she got denied by United Healthcare for, I forget what the fuck she needed, some medication, and she literally told them like, hey, like, I need this. And they're like, oh, yeah, no, we think, we understand that. But like, oh, we think you should try this other one first. And she says, hey, I already tried that one. It gave me horrible side effects, and it was not effective. And they're like, okay, well, you know what? We think we need to get another opinion on this. And they put it through her, and she said, you know what? Fuck it. It's just cheaper to die. It's just cheaper to die. Because then eventually they did cover it, and they were like, oh, okay, yeah, we'll cover it. But it's only covered for, you still got to pay like $600 a month for it. And it's like, why? Why do we need to do that? Because what their whole goal is in the insurance industry is to get you to not fucking do it. It's just to say, fuck it, I can't afford it. If you're going to say, oh, we'll cover part of it, but you got to pay $600, well, they ain't going to pay the $600. So then, you're not going to have to pay that other back end $5,000 or whatever it is, right? Like,
yeah, which means like fucking health care insurance is just a fucking scam like any other insurance company. You pay into it. So what? Like,
and then they figure out every single possible way you can to deny you your coverage,
or give you the bare minimum.
Yeah, and it's like, okay, why am I paying you money? Why am I again? Why is it that my health insurance plan costs like $22,000 a year for my health insurance plan? Why is $22,000 a year being given to you? But then if I need some shit, it's like,
I don't know about that.
I don't know about that. I already paid you for the shit.
Yeah,
I already paid you for it. That's why our insurance premiums are so fucking high. If you're not going to cover shit, cool. Make it like $500 a year then. If you're gonna just to deny us and not cover us shit, make it so that cool, we can have it. Why are we even paying for this shit?
Yeah, I mean, fuck. Like, if it's $22,000, like, how often do you get sick? Not much. No, but on the one fucking occasion you need it, you should be able to get the care that you deserve.
Exactly. It's fucking ridiculous. So I don't know what's going on with this or where it's going to end up. I do hope that Luigi. I have been trolling people on the internet, and I've been posing as Mario because his name's Luigi.
Yeah.
And so I've been saying how hey, whatever, snitches get stitches, and I said also my brother did nothing wrong, and then I put the little dash. It's a me, Mario. Like that's how I've been citing shit. Which we'll talk about on the BFN show, my internet trolling later. But anyways. I did see the like Luigi's got a lawyer now, and this guy's fucking hilarious. He's talking all this shit. He's basically like, he did this press conference and he's like, oh, all you media assholes are saying all this stuff about all this evidence they have. And he's like, you know how much evidence I've seen? He's like, hold on, let me get it for you. And he pulls out his thing. He opens up his hands and there's nothing in it. And he's like, here, look, zoom in if you want. Nothing. I've seen nothing. They've showed me nothing that's actual evidence because they have none. Yeah. And it's great. I don't know where this trial's going to lead. I think he's going to get killed in holding or whatever. They denied him bail. Now they made his bail $500,000. I think he's out. I think he got bailed out now.
Oh, we'll
but I'm sure he's going to end up dying somehow. I'm sure somebody's going to get him. Somebody's going to kill him. And then that's where it's going to end. And
well, maybe not. Maybe this is the start of maybe a few other CEOs start disappearing.
Well, also, what's very funny is right after this happened, the Walmart CEO came out and said, yeah, I know everybody's been asking for price decreases and stuff, but you can expect groceries are going to continue to rise. And he said that they're going to be at least 6% more expensive than they are now in 2025. And it's like, maybe someone needs to pay a visit to the Walmart CEO. Let them know that they don't need to be making billion-dollar new record profits. Maybe eat a little bit of that so we can fucking afford to eat,
Yeah, I mean...
Also, maybe pay your employees more than fucking minimum wage.
How sustainable... I mean, when you talk about, like, capitalism, right? And then to talk about short-term profits on a quarterly basis that... You're going to be exceeding your profits every single fucking quarter. That's unsustainable, dude. Because then you're saying that you're going to make more fucking money, and then everybody else is going to get fucked because it's got to be paid to the shareholders and shit.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Of course, it's unsustainable, but as long as they got their money back, and that's like the whole thing that we're talking about here with Elon and Vivek doing this thing with the government efficiency. What do? Elon goes and he buys Twitter. What's going to end up happening a year from now or less? Twitter's getting gutted. It's already been gutted. All you do is you take the money that you owe and you fucking gut it so you can make record profits and then you get rid of it. That's all you do. That's what happens when businesses get bought. They just get flipped and then tossed aside to make a profit on what you paid for it. So that's what they're going to essentially do with the government over the next 4 years. Well, probably less than that. It'll probably only be like a year and a half, 12 to 18 months. They're going to do this whole thing, just destroy the government and fucking be like, cool, now we made a profit. And now everything's also more expensive now.
Yeah, which is one of the things that Hanauer gentleman was talking about is that to level the playing field is to have like the government step in and have resources, like the Board of Education to make sure that there's a standardized curriculum or criteria that everybody fucking knows across the board. So when you're trying to eliminate, if this Department of Government Efficiency in fact does, which I don't know how they have any authority to do so, but if they eliminate the Board of Education, it's like, well, shit, that means that education is going to be privatized, or maybe people don't learn in general. And hey, now everybody's going to be a fucking a wage fucking cuck.
Yeah, everybody's going to be a wage cuck, and they're going to be making minimum wage cucks. All right, that's what they're going to be doing. The system, like, this is our fucking like end of the Roman Empire era right now.
It is, it feels like it.
The castle is crumbling down around us.
Yeah,
we're about to have a fucking French Revolution here in the United States. And what sucks for the people at the top is they're all going to get fucked because there's a lot more of us than there are of them. And
yeah, sure. And they might have machine guns and security, tanks, all that stuff. And some of us are going to die, but the numbers don't lie.
Yeah, the numbers don't lie. And with Big Papa Pump guiding our fucking hand, we will surely win this war. Anyways. All right, you got anything else to add about this?
No.
I think I've said enough. All right, we'll go to Game Rage Magazine on Instagram and TikTok, also YouTube. Like, comment, subscribe. Game Rage Mag on Twitter/X, and you can go to All Gas No Trash Official if you want to check out Adam's podcast and his stuff.
One more thing.
Blog, right?
Yeah, Substack.com/All Gas No Trash.
Yeah.
So
I'll start doing that at the beginning. Anyway, that was it.
Yes.
All right. Sounds great. We'll catch you guys on the next one.